Yo, what up, fools?
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday, if that can be such a thing.
It can if we want it to. How you doing, guys? Nice to see you all. What the?
Don't worry about that.
General Jocular. You're first.
Say his name right.
Andre. Optimal training frequency. I like to train almost every day doing a split. Push, pull, legs. That gives each muscle at least 2 days of rest. Thoughts on optimal training frequency? I would add in, personally, 1 or 2 rest days. So either push, pull, legs, day off, or push, pull, legs, day off, push, pull, legs, day off. It all depends how hard you're training, though, and anything works, really, as long as you've got balance. So if you're not quite, if you're not training as hard as you sort of could be, well, I suppose if you train as hard as you could be, you'd need a week off. Do you know what I mean? It's balance. So for me, I do push, pull, legs, rest. And yeah, that's nice. If I didn't train quite so hard, I could probably do it sooner. But I like to push the weights up fairly regularly. Most weeks, I'm putting a kilo on the bar or half a kilo on smaller lifts. So really, it's really suck it and see. Do it. If you're progressing nicely, that's great. If you're not progressing, either you're training too hard, you're not training hard enough, you're not got enough calories, do you see what I mean? If you've got it to work, then that's the optimal training frequency. I think anything and everything almost to a degree works, but you have to have balance throughout the week, frequency, volume, intensity. You have to have balance between all these variables.
Suck it and see. It's got to be one of the best sayings.
You love a bit of it. Sergeant Angrad, she's here. Good to see you. Subscribe to her. She's great. Evening, Aslan. Good to see you. Dan. He's here. Lieutenant Dan. Jordan DK is in the hizzy. You lovely lot. I like that. Cassie Harris is also here. Good to see you again. Nice use of emojis there, Andre. Lisa Brand, how are you guys? How are we guys?
Good.
How are you?
I found it hard to get going today, but once I got going late this afternoon, I was alright. Yeah, I can't complain in life. I feel like I've had some growth lately, and what's left that I want to change, I'm becoming more and more okay with it, or okay with myself. Yeah, and having that, just the slow progression, and yeah, I'm finding more acceptance for myself. That's where I'm at. Where are you at in life?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Business as usual. Had a nice workout today, progressing well. Yeah, feeling very strong, and yeah, really happy in life. Yeah, it's been a bit of a bitty day, sort of a work day, little bits and pieces. I had a little hour on Minecraft as well. Yeah, nothing to report really, but yeah, couldn't be happier.
Speedy Vegan, our third cookbook, is well underway. Our lovely friend is happy to proofread it again for us, like she did the other books. The lovely Goji Man's wife Emma, I spoke to her, and she's happy to jazz up the book for us with her graphic design skills, and I've done at least 2/3 of the recipes, so I feel really pleased and proud and excited for that now. So that's, yeah, man. We've also got that on the cards.
Andre, really important question. What is your favourite dinosaur? See, I'm quite fond of a Triceratops or 3-horned lizard. I think they look pretty cool. They're quite tough little herbivores. Well, they're pretty big.
I don't think I could name very many, so I don't have a favourite.
What ones can you name? Tyrannosaurus?
Yeah.
Velociraptors are pretty cool.
Herbivorous one.
Velociraptors are pretty cool, but they were only the size of turkeys, apparently.
What about dinosaurs? I mean, not dinosaurs, I mean crocodiles. Were they around then? To your face. Were they around then?
Yeah, but they were crocodiles. I'll tell you who I did like is Liopleurodon, the shark killer. I think he was the biggest ever animal.
Too scary for me.
Yeah, Lipluridon, I'm going to say, actually.
I don't have a favourite. Sorry about that.
George's in the hizzy. Windwaker was also here. He can't work out where he's come tonight. Mega Rocks, good to see you. Mark Crossy, good to see you as always. Andre, hey everyone, check out David Ram's latest video. He interviews a WWE guy, big guy, Ryback, who is vegan. It's a quick video and there's lots of good stuff. He actually did a longer video as well previously. That's a little outtake. Not outtake, but excerpt.
A segment.
A segment. A segment, if you will.
He segmented it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with him at the minute as well. I would like to do an interview. General Lucy, good to see you. How are you doing? Marijuana guy, hi guys. What's your reaction to Vegan Gays channel getting yeeted off the platform? I think he's taken it down himself. I think he's probably got 2 strikes, so he don't want to get a third one and lose his channel. That's my understanding of it, likely so far, unless anything's changed since last I looked. But, you know, it's quite controversial. He's done a lot of good stuff for the movement, but also, you know, he is a bit of an unkind person, and you can only act that way for so long. So, you know, what a surprise would be my reaction, really. What up, fool? General Mooncat is here. Check out his latest video. He's got an amazing co-star. And do subscribe to him.
He just posted a photo of himself at the gym on the gram.
Good man.
Round of applause.
Good man. Yeah, how's it going, Mooncat? Give us a status update. Victoria, I take it that's Victoria B. Hello, nice to see you too. Nice to see you as well, my lovely. Where in the world are you? Are you Germany way? How's things? How are you doing? How's the vegan scene where you are? George, hey Hench, do you find that CBD helps with your anxiety and would you recommend? Very much so. I suffer from really rough social anxiety, must be awesome. I used to suffer terribly with that, and like performance anxiety, like being like broadcast at public speaking. I still struggle a little bit, but yeah, CBD is a godsend. I'm on the maximum dose that is recommended 3 times a day.
I feel like for me, CBD oil and meditation, cold showers.
Yeah, cold therapy, breath work.
They've really helped me with my meditation, with my anxiety.
Same.
Yeah, I used to have it quite bad, but
it's
you
huge.
know, 10 times better these days. Yeah.
Yeah, give it a go, George. If you want to try it out for cheap, there's a link. You probably know, but link below for Honest Hemp. You can get 30% off your first order with my code. But yeah, I find it to be really great stuff. But yeah, add in all the other things Gemma just said. So in the morning, basically, it's for me, cold shower, breath work, meditation I've let slip lately. And yeah, I feel like a tiny bit of background anxiety. So I really need to put that back in. It really helps. It really, really, really helps.
So, and sometimes you don't notice how much it's helping until you stop doing it. That can,
this is
can
it.
Be a thing as
yeah,
well,
you
actually.
kind of forget.
Yeah. Just lately, I've been not really wanting to do the cold showers so much, using any excuse to not stay in there for very long, or like to not do it on a couple of days. And yeah, and then the last couple of days, I've really just been like, come on. And I've stayed in there longer than usual until you get to that sort of sweet spot where it's not really bothering you that much anymore. And then you feel a little bit more, some endorphins or whatever you get from it. And I was thinking, oh yeah, this is that feeling that I used to get. But I'd kind of, I don't know, like tapered it down over time until so I wasn't really getting that feeling because I wasn't in there for like long enough. So I remembered the power of a cold shower. It does really do something to you where it makes you actually feel better. It's really good stuff, very powerful.
Cassie, Gemma, you're looking radiant.
Thank you.
You're not see-free for once either, that's
oh yeah.
Mecha Rocks.
Thank you, that's very kind.
Are you going to post on your Destroying Anti-Vegan Nonsense channel again? No. The reason I started a second channel was I thought that doing the 2 styles of videos on one channel was hurting reach. And my understanding was, like, if you did everything on one channel, like, it didn't matter that you don't have much of a following, it will still get great growth, like, views. But it didn't work out. Like, I didn't get as many views. And as well, I think I'm kind of past sort of being really horrible to people. Like, I sort of use that as a tool to like help grow try to help grow the channel, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work on this channel because it's mixed sort of signals. I'm sort of all sweetness and light and trying to be motivational, educational in one video, and then the next video I'm being like an a-hole to like people. And you know, I did it for effect to try and grow the channel. It's not me, and yeah, it's just not really doing it. And I don't want to be like that. I don't think that it helps. I know the videos are fun, but I don't know that it helps the movement. I think we need to be more kind and compassionate and just seek to educate. I mean, call people out. I'm doing the response videos on here, but I'm doing them in a more, I think, productive way. And yeah, it's not so fun. They're not getting as many views, in all honesty. But yeah, I don't really want to put out kind of too much negativity. I'd rather put out positivity.
It's really insightful of you to think about that and to notice that and how you feel when you made those videos before.
Yeah, it didn't feel good.
And you know, I guess you've put like your sort of integrity in how you feel and creating connection amongst humanity rather than separation. And, you know, above like popularity and views and you know
views,
that's a hard thing to balance because the more views you get, the more you can reach people.
Yeah, this was my
reach
thinking.
The sort of people that you need to affect if you are behaving in a particular
way.
So
if you reach people outside of your echo chamber, like they're not going to take it too lightly, and like that's probably not helping.
It's a funny one, isn't it?
Can be making things worse instead of better, maybe. So that was that. Thanks for asking. Foxy Blonde in the hizzy. Good to see you, my lovely. Andre, I do HIIT style training, few sets to failure with intensity techniques. I feel like I recover pretty quickly. I'm being as well if I'm doing it every day. Okay, so you got very low volume. Now, when I was doing HIIT training, it took me a good week to recover. I couldn't have trained any more frequently than that. And I was doing that in the bro split style. So, like chest and buys, legs. How did I split it? Is that like a 5 or 6 day split with like 1 day off? And that worked well for me. However, I understand that works better for someone who's drug enhanced, and I was drug enhanced back then. So whether it would have worked like half as well, probably not, I think, according to the science. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it didn't really, Andre. I've not really tried it in that way. And what I will say is, like, is it working for you? My understanding of HIIT trainers, you're meant to really balls to the wall, like grinders where you barely make it, which really you don't ought to be able to recover quick enough in order to do that again, I doubt. But again, if it's working for you, if you're getting stronger, if like your muscles are growing, like if you've, you know, get some data basically, and if it's working, great. And if it's not, I think drug-free, I wouldn't recommend HIIT style from what I know now, and I would really, you know, do a few sets, maybe about 18 like total sets, and then just so a bit more volume, like descending sets, like 10, 8, 6, something like that with a fixed weight. That's how I train, and I feel like I'm getting some really, really good results. But again, if you're doing it and it's working for you, great. Like, yeah, don't rock the boat. Like, anything can work if you get, like I say, if you get the balance right. Taylor, hey Hench, would you suggest doing high protein? No, I've had problems going up in reps. My diet is on point most of the time, eh? So, if you're in a caloric surplus, I'd go for 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day. If you're trying to be in maintenance calories and do like a recomp where you're burning fat and building muscle, you'd need nearer 2 grams. If you go any higher than that, you're wasting your time. You're potentially harming like your kidneys, even with plant protein supposedly, although it's not as bad as animal protein. You know, you really need to look at your sleep, your programming, and there's a lot to. I'll tell you what I would suggest, Taylor, is download my free nutrition guide, and it tells you there's a bit on how to build muscle basically. And it's got all the steps that you need to just check mark, make sure you're hitting them all.
You cover even more the stuff in our nutrition course. I can't remember how much you cover in the guide, but you talk about
Well,
like
it's a complete overview.
Yeah, but also there's a whole module on fat loss and one on muscle gain in the nutrition course. So you talk about like sleep and like we talk about stress, how that affects growth, like hydration, sacrifice. So maybe not going out and partying if you really are serious about, you know, meeting your goals, all that.
I sort of have a bit of an issue with. I mean, this might just be me, but when you say like most of the time, that makes me think you've not really made it a priority like you should if you really want. Because that's my main thing. Gemma just said the word sacrifice. And it really is just that, making sure you're getting your meals, making sure you're not staying out late partying, like...
You sort of repair and grow when you sleep, don't you? So
yeah.
If you miss out on that because of, bad...
It is difficult. Your body doesn't want to be big and lean and... It just wants to survive, and like it's a lot of resources, so you have to really provide the stimulus to grow. So you need to be training hard enough to elicit a growth response, but not so hard that you're overdoing it. And then you need to be putting all the things in place: adequate calories, adequate protein, adequate sleep. You know, in order to. So there's it's not just so a lot of people do think, maybe I've not got enough protein. But there's so many variables. Like that's just one of many. And as long as you get in, as I say, 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilo of lean-ish body weight per day, like that's the optimal. That's optimal. Or for a lot of people, they don't need as much as that. There's no way that you need more of it. Maybe if you were taking steroids, like maybe you want another 25 grams, but that's all. Not that I recommend taking steroids, which I don't.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's silly. Andre, you said Minecraft. You better be using Jollycraft, available on Java at jollycraft.com or Minecraft Marketplace. Tell me about that,
What are you, a salesman
Andre?
for them?
Tell me about that. Macaroni Delta. Can I get an amen? Amen, brother. Amen. Harness Police in the Hizzy. That's a good name. How are you doing? Andre, Gemma, for a dinosaur, for you, I'd choose Longisquama. It's like the peacock of dinosaurs. It's not that one in Jurassic Park that spat in that chubby guy's face, is it? Oh.
Oh, he does look like a peacock.
He's well snazzy.
He is well snazzy.
Wow.
Very cool. Yeah, I like him.
Sold.
Yeah, he's my favourite. I probably won't remember his name, but that one's my favourite. Thanks, Andre.
Cassie, Hench, I loved Mark's video with you yesterday, cheering you on from Canada. Good stuff, thank you.
Nice.
Bruce Lee, very good to hear. Yeah, deep breathing helped saved you from your anxiety attack. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Amazing stuff. The best way to recover yourself if you have like a panic attack is by way of, what's it called? Physiological sighing. Yeah. So it looks like this. So 2 sharp, deep, full lung breaths. And then slowly out. And physiologically, that will get your hormones in the best state the quickest possible, according to science.
Yeah, it's important stuff, isn't it? The way that we breathe. Yeah.
Nikki, what type of meditation do you do? How long each day? It varies. My favourite meditation... Oh, hang on. I've missed out... Sorry, I missed a couple of people out there. I don't know what happened there. Macaroni Delta thought that you were an Emma. That happens quite a lot.
I get called Emma, yeah, quite a lot.
Or Gemma sometimes.
I'm fine with it.
Mark Veganism in the hizzy. Right, sorry. Mooncat saying, I'm that good. Been to the gym 3 days in a row. Oh, wow. Good man. Sticking to Whole Foods after meeting my amazing co-star. Related to work with my own girls. Oh, very good. Make sure you get at least 1 day off.
And also, Mark, make sure that you eat enough. Because you seem so focused, and I bet that you're going to smash it and do an amazing job. And you seem like the kind of person that once you've set your mind to it, you're going to really get on with it, you know. And yeah, there's just always a chance you can eat too little, isn't there? And just try and rush
It's
it
easy
too
done
much.
when you're really pumped, and you know, as we said, you end up kind of skinny fat and whatever. So I'm sure he's going to get it on point though. I'm sure of it. He's a good guy. He knows the score. Nick Liston, what type of meditation do you do? So it varies. My favourite ever meditation, which really helped me with my sort of confidence and sort of anxiety around broadcast, has been Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which after it builds up over the weeks. Week 1 you do the first part, week 2 you do the first 2 parts, up to the 4th week where there's all 4. That actually takes an hour and 11 minutes, but I got some amazing results. But he's also got one called the Generous Present Moment. Also just do like breathing, you know.
Yoga Nidra we like.
Yeah, Yoga Nidra is a good little thing. You can look that up, and that can help to replace some lost sleep, potentially.
So I recommend the book Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza, the book. And then he teaches you all about his styles of meditation and why they work, so you really get why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, it's life-changing. People have healed from so many things, mentally and physically, by just implementing his advice. And his main concept that I've taken away from it, really, that is helping me to see like disease in a different way, is that he's talking about the body, so the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems, and how the sympathetic is to do with like fight or flight and being ready for action and that kind of thing. And we live in that state, a lot of us, most of our lives, and don't even appreciate it. But we need to get into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is about repair, digest, rest, all that stuff. So in terms of what you were just saying to someone about bodybuilding, you know, you need to get into that mode to be able to repair. You know, so if you're stressed all the time through, you know, you're revving your body up with caffeine and a stressful job, and you get angry in traffic and all that kind of stuff, stressful, toxic relationships, your body just can't do the repairing and the healing that it needs. And you can keep going on that adrenaline, down that path for so long, and eventually your body is knackered and you might end up with like a disease, you know, and you have to spend enough time getting your body to practice getting into the sympathetic nervous system through the meditations, and then your body learns to settle down, to relax, that you're safe, things are calm, it can repair. So many people have gut issues, and I think that's because they're living with too much stress. Even if they don't think they're stressed, a lot of people actually are. And meditation is just one of the best things, isn't it, for telling our body that it's okay now, like you can go at work repairing all these things that you've not been able to, because I've been full of adrenaline and whatnot. Yeah, I love it.
James Rogers, you are nice. Well, you're very nice for saying that. Thank you. Bless you. Foxy Blonde, I love those videos. Hope you do more in the future. I mean, I am doing the response videos, but I just try not to call people like rude names. Mark Veganism, what do you do when you turn up for your workout at the gym and it's packed to the rafters? Do a mixed bag of anything you can, or come back later? I never have that situation. Not that our gym's like particularly quiet. I'm just sort of blessed, and no one's hardly ever in my way. If I do have to wait for a minute, I will just say to people, "Oh, have you got many more sets, please?" And they usually are done within the next minute or so.
you sometimes you'll say, "Can I work in with you when you're having a rest?" You know, you do that, don't you,
Yeah.
as well?
But I would never veer from my workout schedule. I might, like, say someone is in the way and they're going to be there for a while, I would just switch for an alternate exercise. But 99 times out of 100, I'm sticking to my plan, and I would rather do that because it's you being more scientific. Find a bigger gym, maybe.
Maybe you're going at the peak time when it's not the most busy. That can be a strain in any gym.
Oh, if you can get up early, get your breakfast, and then get in the gym within an hour and a half, 2 hours. I like to train first thing in the day. I have so much more energy. Yeah, I like to get in and get it done. And yeah, there's really people in at that time. But yeah, you need a plan, and you need to stick to it as well as possible, is what I'd say. All right, thanks, Mecha Rocks. Kelly Maddock. General Maddock, is creatine a quick resulting supplement or a build-up? I've been taking creatine last week. I've had it twice. I went training 4 times a week. You really need to be taking it daily, and it doesn't take long to kick in. Foxy, I didn't find those videos negative at all. I felt you were standing on our side speaking total honesty. Thanks, lovely. I mean, I had sort of cleaned them up over time. When they used to do really well, I was being super sassy, but I've kind of eased that up. Blood Hill, nice to see you. Evening all. On the topic of different methods of activism, what do you guys think of Tash Peterson showing the people outside Louis Vuitton? Certainly got some attention. Yeah, well, she's been on at Sky News, so good on her. I know some people find it uncomfortable. I think the trouble is that some people are more worried about what other people will think of them than they are about animals being saved. And if I was queued up in a slaughterhouse, watching my friends and family lined up, getting their throats slit, shaking, like pooing and weeing myself, knowing like my turn's coming up, I would be grateful for Tash Peterson shouting her mouth off, covering herself with blood, and being practically nude, and all the stuff she does. I think she's amazing. I think she's very brave. I think she's very selfless. You know, she's risking attack. You know, she gets ridiculed. She's not doing it for her. She's doing it for... We say like... we're a voice for the voiceless. Well, they're not voiceless. They're screaming like all the time, but just people aren't listening. But yeah, I think I would be grateful, and I would wonder why more people aren't trying harder. Yeah, and this is what I say to trolls when they say, "Oh, like, like shoving it down my throat and whatever," and I just say, look. It's easy as the oppressor to feel, you know, you're acting like the victim when you're the oppressor. Like, what would you rather? Someone saying words or someone sticking a knife in your neck? Like, you're not the victim. Like, and were you the victim, you'd be asking me to try harder. Now, you can't really argue with it, can they? Do you know what I mean? Taylor Marshall, I think I should up my protein if my reps aren't going up.
I think he typed that way before you
Yeah, that's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I saw it before you answered the other question.
Josh, met you both on the Sunday at the camp at my other half. So nice to meet you both. Well, thank you. And it was lovely meeting all you awesome guys as well. It's our favourite thing about the camp out. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Andre, I think recovery from training improves over time. Looking at exercise, it'll wipe me out the first time. The more you do it, the quicker you recover. Yeah. Oh, HIIT training. Well, I did HIIT training for a lot of years, and I was sore AF for like nearly the whole week. So I get what you're saying, but I also think if you're really like pushing it, like people. So HIIT training really was invented by Mike Mentzer. And then who else was there? Dorian Yates did it. He trained body parts once a week, and Mike Mentzer, or there was someone else in between, but he said maybe rest up to 8 or 9 days if you have to. So you know, when I used to do that sort of training, it was really like do or die, like balls to the wall. Like I would just wreck myself. I'd be going to absolute failure. I'd be having training partners make me do like forced negatives. It was nasty training. And my chest would be pretty much sore for the week. I would often wonder whether I was going to recover. But yeah, like any type of training, if it's a new stimulus, like there is a chance that you just need to get used to the stimulus. Like I walked around at camp out like all day, and my calves were dead the next day. But a lot of people walk around all day and like, you know, think nothing of it, but mine were in pieces because it was a new stimulus. I wasn't used to ultra high rep like one-legged calf raises or walking. So I know what you're saying, and again I guess it just depends on total intensity. James Marno, our lovely friend, if you
hi.
If you like our thumbnail today, you can thank James Marno for designing that. Follow him on the Instagrams. Yeah. Hey people, I know what you mean about trying to be more positive in your critiques. I think your video about Gugly set was a perfect balance where you're firm but fair. Keep that great work. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to... Yeah. I'm just hoping if these people actually see the videos that they'll think, yeah, he's being firm but fair. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I think
Like he's got a point.
You do a good job, I think.
You know, if you just say, "Oh, you're an animal abusing like a-hole or whatever," they're not going to listen, are they? And technically, they're not an animal abusing a-hole. They're a animal abuse funding a-hole. But they're not gonna, you know, they're not gonna see that little nuance. Lucy, just back from activism with Animal Rebellion for the last 2 weeks. Saw you at the Animal Rights March. I suddenly unite for animal liberation. Good
Nice.
girl. Good girl.
Good on you. Yeah, that's some intense activism that they're doing. So, yeah, good on you for joining them.
I hope as like the years go by, we can like get more and more and more people. Like there was a lot less people this time out. I mean, I know COVID's been a thing and whatever, but you know, things were gaining like year on year, and I was hoping that will keep happening. Yeah. So yeah, good on you for making the effort. Pomo Dorino, General Dorino, good to see you. Andre with a great question: flax versus chia versus hemp. Which one wins in your books? I think they're all great.
For health?
I think they're all great. Yeah, I guess so. What would you say is the best seed? For me, it sort of depends on like what the sort of parameters you're looking at.
I think flax you can only have a certain amount because of the cyanide, so I'd say chia.
But then with flax, you are getting 100 times the lignans of any other food, which is really cancer protective.
So I guess it's why you have like 1 or 2 of that, and then the rest you have chia. So
I basically most days I have a tablespoon of ground flax, 4 tablespoons of ground chia, less if I'm cutting, and then hemp I have on occasion. Now, say you were just going to pick one seed, you could only eat one seed for the rest of your life. Well, I would probably go with hemp because it's got great stuff, and also it's got the perfect balance of omega-3 and 6. So, yeah, they're all good in their way. If I had to pick one, I would probably say chia. But I like all of them very, very much. Evening, Robert. Good to see you. Connor Say is in the house. Plant Power. Welcome. Nick, thanks for the dispenser reference. By the way, your morality-centric response videos are fantastic. They feel very warm to me, not negative. Think about it as tough. Thank you, my friend. That's really nice. James, I get why you don't want to call people rude names so much, but I have to admit I do enjoy when you call someone a bellend.
I think we all enjoy that, except we wouldn't like to be on the receiving end of that so much.
Macaroni Della, automatic doors, smash or pass? What a great question. I would say smash because you're not sharing your COVID germs. But pass because it's not so much effort to open them, so you're not going to be as fit. So sparse.
I like
Smash. If you're playing Minecraft, don't put your pressure plate for your automatic door on the outside because the skeletons will get in. So I found out to my chagrin earlier. Wind Waker, Paul, I really enjoy watching your videos and your live streams, and Gemma, every single time you suddenly appear in one of the videos, you put an instant smile on my face. I love you both.
Well, that's very kind.
Well, we love you both so much too.
We love you.
Blood Hill, I'm very much behind Tash. I've just been debating with other vegans who agree and thought I get your views. Not disappointed. Thank you. Andre, yeah, Mike Mensa, heavy duty style. I just eventually found out if I only exercised once a week, I felt like I was sitting around wasting time when I could train more. Cool. Mark, do you believe in the vacuum for core? Arnold's always recommended it. No, I don't know anyone who does it. I don't know anyone who really rates it. I think that's a real old-fashioned sort of concept. Yeah, I don't think it's really been borne out. Because if not, all the top pros will be doing it. And I don't think any of them do it. It's not as far as I know anyway. I could be wrong. Joel Hughes went to as a legend in saying crazy one set, 9 to 14 days between each muscle group. Yeah. And like I say, I got great results, but you know, I was stupidly taking heavy amounts of testosterone. Yeah, I got up to 140 for 12 on bench, 140 keys. I wanted a 180 for one set. Nasty. Oh, and you're amazing too, Dan, you lovely person. Thanks for saying that. Dennis, Hench, why do you recommend drinking water between meals and not doing? Well, mainly because the amount of volume. Like if you're eating like a really healthy diet, you'll be eating tons of volume. So quite simply, it would be hard to do. I used to say like maybe you were diluting kind of stomach acids and things. I think the science though probably bears out that that's not really a thing. So I don't know that I sort of believe in that so much nowadays. But really, yeah, just in terms of volume, I just physically could not fit everything in that I wanted to. Andre, I'm no muscle monster. Perhaps the more muscle mass, the longer it takes to recover rather than time to spend exercising on the frequency. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why that might be a thing. I just wonder if you're training like quite as hard as perhaps you could. But then, like, maybe you are. Like, I'm not there. So what would I do? So say for chest, I would do 3 exercises for chest. So I'd do really heavy barbell press. I'd do as many reps as I could on that to absolute failure. I'd then do something like an incline dumbbell press. And then I'd get my training partner to give me a couple of forced reps. So you're going past positive failure and you're grinding an extra couple out. And then with some kind of isolation movement, say like a machine chest fly, I'd do a set of 10 to 12 to absolute failure. I'd immediately drop it down 75%, go to absolute failure, drop it down again, absolute failure. Yeah, it would take me a week to recover, but I was going to like complete absolute failure, and I've gone past failure on my forced reps, on my drop set. Yeah, I will be sore for a week. Or maybe you're just made of tougher stuff than I am. Jeff, is there a limit for carbs per meal? Well, I suppose it's really like how many calories do you need without getting fat, really? But I'd say you want some protein and fats in there too for just for balanced, balanced meals, just for good health.
There's lots of advice in our free guide about balancing like meals and how much protein you need, working out your calorie needs, that kind of thing. So I'll post another link to that in the chat.
To the moon in the hizzy, how are you doing? Welcome. Cassie, I'm picking up a second-hand exercise peddler today. Just got some foot pedals to exercise and while sitting. Nice. I think having this to use without leaving my real help on days when I'm too depressed to go out. Bless you. Yeah, I'm sure that will help. Sorry to hear that you're struggling with that. Peace channel in the hizzy. Good to see you as always. Eagles and cycling. Any vegan mums in there? My wife and I, who are vegans, just had our first child. Any advice? Oh. My main bit of advice would be to get Becoming Vegan by Vasanto and Molina, which is a complete treatise on nutrition for all ages. Or you could check out our online nutrition course, which has got a complete chart of like babies, infants, children, what's that called when you're expecting?
Oh, pregnancy and lactation.
It was conceiving, conception. Oh no, there's nothing for conception, is there?
No, it's pregnancy and lactation.
Yeah, age, stage of life, it's all in there.
Yeah, all your nutrition needs. Yeah.
Congratulations. See you, Robert. Thanks for joining. Belland. Macaroni Della. Can satsumas be consumed willy-nilly? Why not? Why not?
Why wouldn't they be?
Lion Peterson, welcome to you. Any tips for advice with food addiction? I don't know that that's really my wheelhouse. I don't know that I'm the best person to speak to.
I'd say get yourself a great counsellor, just someone for support. Even if you're trying to, go at it alone and do various things, like just have someone there who's qualified or experienced with helping with that. It's like if you wanted to go to the gym and you didn't know really, like you'd never been to the gym before and you're just using the weights, like I'll use that term someone else just used, willy-nilly, each week, and then maybe you're training the wrong things on the wrong, but then the difference between like that and then you hire a personal trainer 1 hour a week, maybe you'll get to where you want to get 10 times faster, I think it's the same for mental health, I think, mental and emotional health, but we just don't always view it in that way, I think, in our society. Have someone support you for sure. We all deserve and need that. And if it's if it's something that you've been struggling with for a while, we often try different things and then it's like we're not sure where to go with it. So have a counsellor. And I've heard that addiction is often about loneliness. Any addiction, it's about not having a sense of connection. I don't know how true that is, but I definitely believe it's an element of it for sure. So think about your support network and who you can have in your life who can help you with this. That's something that I'd say. I think whole food plant-based eating can help with a lot of addictions, can't it? For sure. I used to overeat a lot. I'm not sure if you might say maybe I had a binge eating disorder. I'm not too sure, but eating healthier stuff really helped me for sure. And just getting support mentally, so that I didn't need to turn to things. For me, like overeating was about like numbing out my feelings, and I didn't really see it at the time, but it was. So working with a counsellor, I learned how to tolerate my feelings and what to do with them, and so I didn't need to turn to something to help me to cope because I wasn't needing to cope anymore. Hope that's helpful. Makes sense.
Silly Mint, what would you recommend for people whose families aren't supportive? My girlfriend wants to go vegan, but she lives with her family, and her father keeps saying you will be vitaminless. Well, I would educate him. One simple way would be chronometer.com.
It's hard when you're new because you don't often always have the experience yet about how to communicate about things and maybe the knowledge. So people say, oh, you won't get this and that nutrient. Sometimes you don't know how to counter that. You don't know if that's true or not, or what to say in response. So it can be tricky. So
happily, it's complete nonsense.
Yeah.
So here's a plan I did for a lady on a low amount of calories. You can see it's whole plant foods. There was 200 mils of soya milk, but it was oats, berries, dates, flax seeds, chia seeds, kidney beans, kale, sweet potato, peppers. You get the idea. Whole plant foods. And here's all the nutrients. Omega-3, she only needed 2.2 grams. There was 3.1. Omega-6, I like to go in at about half. If she wanted to have more, though, you could have other nuts and seeds to whack that up. There's no RDA, that's an AI. It's basically based on a sick population who eats far too much omega-6, where omega-6 deficiency doesn't present. However, 6 is pro-inflammatory. So although you need some, I recommend to go lower. But if you wanted to get that 100%, you just eat a little bit more nuts and seeds. You don't need hardly any at all. Protein. So the average woman needs 46 grams of protein. There's 77. Here are the essential amino acids, 195%, 212%, 248%. You get the idea. Vitamins, there's all your B vitamins. Of course, we need a vitamin B12 supplement. So do a lot of omnivorous eaters. Choline, I like to see about half the RDA personally. If you wanted to a similar thing to omega-6, but if you wanted to hit 100%, you'd add in more legumes, whole grains, brassica vegetables. Folate is 18%, vitamin A 2,400%, vitamin C 6.7x, the RDA, vitamin E 100. You get the idea. Like vitamin K 792%, and here's all your minerals, all well above 100%. So I would just say, like, what are you talking about? Here you go. Now what? And then I would show him like papers on, just showing that irrefutably, like that meat and dairy causes the number one leading cause of death in humans, which is heart disease. Like the data, the science is irrevocable. It's it's just ridiculous. I would tell them to get acquainted with nutritionfacts.org. It's a free online resource. It's a YouTube channel as well as a website, and it just shows you the actual science. And you'll just see that the more whole plant foods you eat, the longer, happier and healthier you live, and the more not whole plant foods you eat, i.e., junk plant products or animal products, the shorter and less healthy you'll live. Less life in your years and less years in your life.
I would say something like, I know you've never really thought about this before. That's why to you, you're sort of laughing about it, or, thinking it's ridiculous, or whatever you're thinking and saying. I understand. You haven't thought about it. Maybe you haven't seen what I've seen, and I've been looking into it. And I feel really certain about this, and here's why. And look, would you like to look at this, or do you want to watch this documentary with me? Like some really high octane, great ones. Like Game Changers, and just share some. Yeah, just sort of share some stuff and tell them, I get it that you haven't thought about it as much as me, and you don't. Maybe you're saying all this because you don't want me to be deficient in nutrients, because you care about me and you love me, and I really appreciate that, But however, here's what I've learned, and actually I'm worried about you because of what I've learned, and I know that this is the right way to eat, and think about that person. You can think about what would resonate with them the most. Do they have a health condition that you can speak of? Can you show them some stuff from a plant-based doctor talking about the ailment they have, for example? And also, there's a really great book, Beyond Beliefs by Melanie Joy, where she talks about communicating to non-vegans. And if it's a issue of not knowing, understanding sort of how to communicate, I highly recommend that book. It's really good. I'm just going to shut the windows and doors before all the mosquitoes get in. I've just realised.
Mosquito.
It's gone dark. Oh, sorry. So cleans it up.
Watch out for Sir Cleans It Up. Benny Green, my IRL friend. How are you doing? Good to see you. Faxi. I had a wonderful day at the sanctuary. I spoke of you and Gemma, and the girl that runs the sanctuary, Selena, is now on the group. Nice. Thank you. Bless. I've got no clue what you're on about, Macaroni Delta, but great. Nelly, if I drink juice, even if the sugar content is 9 grams, is it bad? I don't know. So you probably heard me saying about free sugars driving Alzheimer's disease. It's the biggest killer now of UK residents. I guess the dose will make the poison, but I've not seen any signs. So I don't know. I would prefer to stick to whole foods personally. I mean, what's 9 grams? 100 mil? Is that even worth it, really?
Cowboy.
You decide.
Cowboy
it may be to you.
Doesn't want to come in yet, he said. He won't come in.
Leon Kuchstra, good to see you. Andre Zoff, thanks for joining, my friend. Great questions today. Joe, I still struggle with getting enough legumes due to bloating. Is soda juice good, as they say it is, to help? I've never really heard anything. I guess it might build your stomach acid, potentially. You might give it a try. Or apple cider vinegar, 20 minutes before... what are you doing, woman?
What's the cleans are not doing? Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Why has he started up cleaning?
I don't know. Because I knocked him, I think.
You upset him. Turn him off.
I've upset him.
Hold it down. Oh no, you've initiated him.
Oh, no.
Hold it down. Jesus Christ, Blair.
I am holding it. Oh.
There you go. Well done. You could put him back if you want to, or just leave him in your way.
I'll do it later.
If you'd rather have him in your way, that's fine. He is off now, though.
Damn robots.
Maybe. I still have some fish to keep up protein. I really shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't. They they don't like it. It really hurts them when you kill them. So how much protein do you need? And you can get it from plants. I get all mine from
Do
plants.
you need more than this guy?
Try seitan, tofu, textured vegetable protein. But even a whole foods plant-based diet, you'll be getting tons of protein just from real food. It's not just legumes that has it. It's in everything. Even fruit is 5% protein. But yeah, more condensed vegan sources would be, as I say, tofu, seitan, textured vegetable protein, vegan protein powders. Hi Hench and Gemma. Our soaked chia seeds, for example, in overnight oats is good of a source of omega-3 as well as the ground version. Don't know. Probably. I would infer that they probably are. I don't know that there's any science, or I've not seen any science, but you would expect so. The problem with non-ground is that they've got thick shells and like small volume, so that everything tends to stick to the shell and pass through. So I guess if it's gelatinized and you're chewing it up, it should be absolutely fine. Thanks, Lyand. You're very kind. Top of the munch. Evening to you. We're very good. How are you doing?
Top of the munch.
That's a good name. Fertile, I reckon your cookbooks would be good for food addictions. Thank you. I mean, if you can get addicted to whole plant foods, you're laughing because, in 2016 in New Zealand, they did a study called the Broad Study where people ate ad libitum, like as much as they wanted, and on average they lost a pound of fat each week and got in the optimal blood range, like blood levels of cholesterol, triglycerides.
If you're eating to avoid the way that you feel, and you start trying to binge and just eat a lot of whole plant foods, like quite quickly you'll notice that it doesn't really have the same powerful sedative effect that junk food can. So it'll just force you more to face, I guess, whatever it is that's underneath the binge eating.
Macaroni Delta is talking nonsense again. Chris, I'm trying to feed my cat vegan, but you're first to eat it. Any tips?
We've got 2 or 3 videos on the channel all about this.
Try, make sure it's a complete vegan food. There's Benevo, Amicat. I think there's 1 or 2. It must be complete though. Aaron Bond, how do you feel about Vegan Gains getting this channel deleted? I know I'm going to miss his content. I don't believe his channel's likely deleted. I think that likely he's got 2 strikes and he's taken his content down while one of the strikes clears so that he doesn't get a 3rd strike and lose his channel. It won't bother me one way or the other because I got fed up with his attitude ages ago and stopped watching him. It just kind of grated on me after too many years. Matt, I'm bloated all day long. Fibre is really an issue for me. I would invite you to watch Goji Man's channel. See if any videos resonate. Consider running some tests to see what's up. I mean, if you're new to vegan eating and you've gone really high fibre straight away with no interim, easing it up, then likely you just not got enough of the good bacteria to process the fibre and it'll be a waiting game. Yeah, if you've been doing it long term and you're having troubles, then you may have a pre-existing gut issue, which a lot of people do. It's not uncommon, particularly when we've not eaten a healthy whole foods vegan diet our whole lives.
And if anyone's a new vegan and they want some... I noticed Toby Gosling is talking about the vegan switch. You can get a mentor. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Definitely look into that. And also we've got a Facebook community just called Hench Herbivore Community. So if anyone wants help to ask questions and things, please come over there and ask as much as you like. We're in there commenting sometimes, not all the time, but there's loads of other people in there who I'm sure would be happy to help also. Give it a look.
Jacob Collins also is asking about vegan cat food. So we use Benevo, Benevo.
Yeah, the videos that Paul's done talk all about it, some new science that came out saying how it's actually okay.
If anything, so the science shows it's either as good as a meat-based product, or half of the studies say that the complete vegan cat food is better. The latest, biggest ever study actually showed that it was best. So
Yeah, and I guess also, you know, most cats don't eat what they would normally eat in nature. They're eating like old parts of, you know, diseased animals and whatever gets chucked in there, like all the bits that humans don't want to eat, you know, it's all cheap stuff. So, and it's heated, so they have to put back in the taurine that gets destroyed through the heating and stuff like that. So it's got supplements added. And yeah, it's not ideal anyway. So I think that's part of what makes vegan cat food good. But yeah, there's lots of stuff. Definitely look up those videos.
Mooncat's got some good advice about binge eating. As a notorious binge eater, I would recommend a food diary to see your eating pattern. I tend to binge if I go for long periods in the day, not eating. For example, missing breakfast or lunch. Yeah, you must get those meals in.
Yes. And like, don't have unhealthy stuff in your house that you can binge on. Just have all the good stuff. But I think like there's sort of binge eating where we could mean in terms of like just like overeating, and then I think there's binge eating where it's a binge eating disorder. So I think there's like a difference like there. So if it's an eating disorder, definitely speak to a counsellor, someone who's a specialist in helping with that. If it's just like, you know, overeating, there's so many great tips like people are saying, you know, like not missing meals and not having unhealthy stuff in your house. All that great stuff, you know, is really important.
Dragon Fist is in the house. Good to see you. Racy, the Hench, I need you to write a plan where I can eat as much trunk food as I can and drink all the world's vegan beer while still remaining in optimal health and super sexy. My understanding is you're already doing it. That's what I heard anyway. Tell the man to watch The Taste of Marley, a Jamaican documentary hosted by Rowan Bob Marley's son. The rest of frames who eat night-owl diet as a Porous diet, forage from trees and bushes. Yeah, they're down with that, aren't they? I found out that the world's top skateboarder was brought up with the ITEL malarkey, and yeah, best skateboarder in the world. Sadly, he's like quit now and he's not vegan anymore, so he's a silly boy. But he says he credits his early success with his nutrition, so that's weird. How do you deal with family and friends who order meat or other animal products restaurant when you're out with them? Thank you. I don't go out with them.
Yeah, it might be a case of you can order something vegan, and if they go somewhere where you can get a good vegan option, and then you can, you know, just be really enjoying your food, not make a big deal out of it, just to sort of show like, yeah, vegans go out, we're normal, we can be out with you too, and look, my food's really tasty, you know, great. Like, if you can do that, that's great. But, you know, I think for some of us, the longer you're vegan, the more we don't want to look at dead animals while we're eating. And I think that's hard for non-vegans to understand, you know, sometimes. So yeah, I personally don't put myself in a position to eat with non-vegans anymore, but you could be missing an opportunity, you know, for a conversation and to influence and stuff. So it's just, you've just got to do whatever's best for you, I think there on that one. Like, you could just start like trying to arrange meetings and get-togethers that don't revolve around food, which I know is really hard. Or if it does revolve around food, maybe you could cook a meal for everyone, something like that. Or you could, like, you know, go bowling or to the cinema or like just other things, you know, so that it's not about food, if that's, you know, it's bothering you.
Dragon Fist is talking about his speciesism again. Just B's not talking to me. Benny Green, I'm doing good, buddy. Getting ready to fight on the 25th. I'd still like you in my corner. I would be honoured. I would really love to do that, if I'm honest.
Oh.
Yeah, I hope we can make that happen at some point. That'd be very cool. Just B, what are the top mistakes you can make with nutrition being vegan? I think the main thing is most people think you just stop eating animal products and you're going to be mega healthy. Well, a lot of vegan junk foods are as bad, if not worse, than animal products. So yeah. I think that's number one. What would you add?
The number one, the biggest mistake that people make.
Number one.
Which we talk about in our free guide. So make sure you get that. I'm going to post another link for that. Is that people don't eat enough. So they just eat as much volume as they used to eat and then, you know, feel full and don't appreciate maybe they have to get used to eating a little more volume or eat the more calorie dense things. And most people don't count their calories, they don't want to, and that's fair enough. But I think you have to just get a rough gauge, you know, a rough eye for it so that you're not under eating, because people can think, oh, it's not working for me, I'm not as strong in the gym, like I just feel tired a lot. Or some people make me laugh, they'll say something like, oh, I tried being vegan for like 4 days and I felt terrible, I felt so like weak and tired, you know. And it's, well, how much like were you eating? Oh, I don't know, like loads, you know. But maybe they ate like a banana and an apple for breakfast and thought that was
and then a load of spinach for lunch.
then, yeah, oh, I had a salad for dinner, and you see where I'm going with it. So that's
if I can do
thing.
all right, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard for me to think. I know in our course we covered a lot of misconceptions and problems that people come up against, but can you remember? I'm struggling to remember now.
I mean, supplementation, you probably need a B12, you need D3 if you're not getting sun. Iodine is something people forget, so some seaweed or a supplement if not.
So we cover those 4 nutrients in the free guide as well. Like those are the 4 that you should be concerned about, you should be mindful of.
Omega-3, so ground flax, ground chia, or a DHA supplement. I think these are the top things really. But ideally, eat predominantly whole plant foods, legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. Take the sort of 2 to 3 to 4 supplements. You won't go far wrong really. Just eat enough volume. Make sure you're not losing weight or whatever, unless you want to.
Then there can be like things that people can, what did they say? The like mistakes. Well, then you can get to the food side, and people can like not know how to cook without oil, or how to make, you know, how to have something sweet that doesn't have sugar. Like how do you make a tasty like dessert? Things like that. Like I think people can get a bit stuck there, can't they? With like, how do I actually go about this? So definitely check out. We've got 2 cookbooks, but a lot of the recipes from those books are on the channel as well. You know, for free in the vlogs and the What I Eat in a Day.
Recipe videos.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd say look at that stuff.
But ideally, buy our cookbooks. They get a description. Give us your money. We better wrap it up, mate.
And the 2 cookbooks are in our course as well, which talks in depth a lot more all about how to do veganism smart and how to not fail, and just all the little bits that you might not even think of. It's just we've put it all in there.
It's a real deep dive.
Yeah.
We better go and do some other things. We need to get in a walk. I need to do my late night posts.
Join our Facebook community in case you've got other questions and you want to chat with us. And when are you back?
What day is it? Monday. I'll probably come on Wednesday, either in the morning or the evening, or both.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. You'll see posts. Follow me on the gram, hench_herbivore. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on our toast. And the cameras rolling, rolling. If you're new, we'd love you to become part of this wonderful community. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the bell icon, so you're notified of new videos and new bellends. And is that all the things? You've just been, you've done our sales pitch already, haven't you?
Our sales pitch.
I think that's all the things. Thanks for hanging out, guys. We love you very much. We really enjoy hanging out with you, and we appreciate you keep turning up and chatting with us. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah, have a nice week. Yeah.
Let's do our gormless faces.
Is this about the time of the night where we do something silly?
Yeah, let's do something silly. Bye for now.
Good day to you, sirs and madams.
Good day to you, madam.